All right, time now for the playbook presented by Modelo. Alabama has been an incredibly confusing team this year, which is why we have our very own QB Matt Sims to help us break down and make some sense out of Jalen Milroe in Alabama this year. So they hang 42 on LSU, and then 2 weeks later, they can't score a touchdown against Oklahoma.
Right.
I mean, this team, if we do know one thing, they run as Jalen Milroe runs, right? I mean,
absolutely. The whole team is predicated on the success of their quarterback, right, and the offense obviously goes through him. He is the best weapon that they have. And at times, it's been working to perfection. At other times, it's been frustrating. And here is a great example of this. Everyone knows, right, this game, Oklahoma, they struggled in it. All right, he only passed for about 160 yards in this football game, only rushed for 7. And with that recipe, they're not going to win the football games. In this situation, you see the Oklahoma defense, they have a 4-down defensive front, right? They have 2 backers in, and we're going to get a motion here by Alabama. They're going to send a receiver out here, and we're going to get basically a RPO decision by Jalen Milroe. It is either going to be the run or throw the receiver screen up here with the 2 guys blocking.
That's it.
All right, that's it. Yeah. So for this situation, we're going to get a down look. So all these guys essentially are blocking down on the nearest defender with the guard pulling around, leading up into the hole. He also has an extra blocker, the running back, that will be following the guard as well to be an extra blocker for either that inside backer or a safety that appears in the hole. Now, what I want you to notice about this, right, in this situation, the tackle has an easy down block to pin this near side defensive tackle. I want you to see what happens here. Crosses face, throws him away. So now already the play is disrupted. The guard that is pulling is surprised by the defensive tackle already being there at the line of scrimmage. So what's the big weapon for this defensively? Penetration at the line of scrimmage. You can see right here, everyone is still stuck at the line of scrimmage. Our tackle missed the block where he has the perfect angle. He misses. He now affects the puller, and everything is thrown off. You see the tackle now, he's like, I don't know who to block. So now what does Oklahoma do? They continue to collapse that line of scrimmage. You see all the bodies right here. Is there any lane for Jalen Milroe to run through? No, there isn't. Now this is the other part that I want you to see. Look at the hustle and the focus by the Oklahoma secondary of identifying the play and then playing to the whistle, right? Okay, great. He makes the next guy miss. But now watch. Here comes the rest of the cavalry. 4 Oklahoma defenders straining. Look at Alabama on the other side of it, watching the play, not sure what to do. Oklahoma finishing the play out, tackle for a loss. The hustle and strain was there all day by the Sooner defense.
That's the flip side of having such an athletic quarterback, because there are some things that he can do that nobody else can do,
Absolutely.
Right?
And there's times where he does that and he breaks it off for a 30-yard run. And this was the case where Oklahoma, great team defense and really just playing very hard, well-coached each and every football play. Here's another great example that we have here. We have an empty formation. The bottom receiver here, you can't really see him on the screen here, but empty. We're spreading the field out as much as we possibly can. For Alabama, we have a hook route, an in cut, and then a hitch on the outside. This side is the man side, right? It's that wide and fade we always talk about, and then basically a hitch, all right? Now, Oklahoma matches this with a 4-down defensive front. They're playing quarters coverage on the back end. So each guy has quarters here. And now these 3 guys underneath, here's your flat defender, here's your hook defender, here's your flat defender. Now all Jalen has to do is make one of these defenders wrong, right? So for him, you got to watch this guy. It's quarters coverage. He's the flat defender. If he buzzes out, you take the hook underneath right here for the easy completion. Right. What happens in this situation, he predetermines. He knows that it's free access on the outside here to the tight end. He plants his 3rd step, and he just pulls the trigger. He doesn't notice that the flat defender is sprinting out there underneath that hitch. And as you can see right here, there's a space for him to hit this one right here between the 2 backers. The predetermined leads to the pick 6 in this situation. And this is really just what we saw all day from Jalen Milroe. Predetermined, trying to go.
All right, so that's some of the bad. Now let's go to some of the good, because there was some good in the Iron Bowl. What'd you see?
Yeah, so in the Iron Bowl, I saw 2 things, right? Winning at the line of scrimmage by the offensive line, aggressive downfield passing, but a mixture of screen passes. So here we're going to see a really cool concept, right? A post concept, right? A corner, and then a whip route. For Jalen Milroe, I think that he reads longer developing plays down the field better than he does some of the stuff over the middle. It's easier for him to see. It's easier for him to take advantage of his strong arm. So in this situation, Auburn matches it with man coverage. He's well protected because he's such a good athlete. They rush 3 and spy him with the 2 others. He does a great job buying time, and then you see the strong arm delivering the football all the way to the sideline for an explosive play. So that's the key for them and their success, is those mixtures of easy completions, but then getting in some of those explosive downfield passes.
Sure. And then he can also do this. Like,
yes.
He can make work with his legs.
Right.
And then he can also air it out with his arm. He is a true dual threat guy.
So now Alabama, they go with an unbalanced line here, right? We have a tight end and a receiver. They're on top of each other right here in this situation. That's why the tight end is off the football here. So the unbalanced look, they're trying to set the Auburn defense to the field more. What is that doing? That gives the Alabama offense an advantage to go down block all the way with each of their offensive players here. And then they are going to lead with the halfback blocking out on this extra defender. Jalen is going to fake the handoff to the back and then follow him through the lane. And once he gets, again, ahead of steam, right, look at the drive, right? Look at the push by the offensive line. You can see here, a little different than what we saw at Oklahoma, right? Driving, right?
Yeah.
Hat placement in the proper position. There's a lot of red blocking the white jerseys here on this side. He just rides that wave, gets ahead of steam, and in these situations, he is almost unstoppable. So these are a few of the examples of what we saw, and that's a good move right there in the end zone. These are a few of the examples of the bad and the really good of Alabama, and we'll see which one shows up here in the playoffs.
And we'll see if they can get to the playoffs
That's true,
still, because
That's
we
true
still
too.
have to see what happens with the ACC. But that was the playbook. Thank you very much, Maddie. We appreciate it.